Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to YOMP. Hello, yes, you are listening to the hit podcast YOMP. YOMP, ye oldie movie podcasty. It's a film discussion podcast. Can you believe it? Oh, the things they make podcasts about these days. I am Simon the Honeydew Man, Diggy Hole Lane, and I'm always going to say it that way now. It's ingrained in my brain, saying it wrong. And I am joined by the haunting, effervescent, and malevolent spirits that is G-Star Games.
Fucking hell. Hello, Simon Diggy Holeman Lane. Also, I love what you did with your 4 favorite films on Letterboxd, putting Diggy Holeman. Great. It's a nice touch. But hello, welcome to this episode of YOMP. And joined by me is the ever spooky, ever fragrant, ever ethereal.
I'm a smelly ghost.
Oh, she's smelly. She's stinky.
Oh, I'm a smelly ghost.
Smells like the pits of hell. The sulfur, eggy smell.
Yeah, the armpits of hell.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The armpits of Sophie.
So sometimes that's like, you know them ghost hunting shows, like, can you smell?
Zach
sometimes
Baggins.
Yeah. Zach Baggins, #1 top ghost hunter in the world. No, sometimes you get a smell of like a ghost, don't you?
Yeah.
Sometimes your ghost smells. And I think when
I have noticed that with the ghosts in my house.
sometimes, like when I die, I think I'll come back as a smell. Not for Switch.
Okay.
Hot dogs.
Smell of hot dogs. What, just like a tin of cold hot dogs?
Well,
That horrible briny smell.
they smell very similar when they're cooked as well. But I'd like to just go float around and go like, and someone goes, "Can you smell hot dogs?"
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And then, if they know you, they'll remember you when they smell that. They'll be like, oh.
Hot dog. Well, I did smell like a bakery last time I saw you, Simon, didn't I?
Yes, that's true. That's true. Your hair smelled like a bakery.
So I wouldn't mind smelling like a bakery. Like someone smells, wow, it smells like yeast.
Generally, it's not good to smell like that, but you had product in your hair
I did,
that made
yeah.
it smell that way.
Yeah.
Just to clear the air, I guess. I don't want listeners to think you have a yeast infection.
It's fine. They can think what they want. Some listeners might decide, you know what, she sounds like she might have a yeast infection. What's that scratching noise?
Oh my God. Like the smell of hot dogs and a scratching sound.
What is that? What is it?
We've made contact.
We've made contact. She's, oh God. Ectoplasm. Do not touch the ectoplasm.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I don't even want to know what that is. So, we're recording an extra episode. It's not going to be an extra episode for you guys listening, but we wanted to get ahead, and luckily the fate smiled on us, and we got an hour-long film, a Simon pick. So we're doing a discussion about it right now on this episode of YOMP. Just an 56-minute long movie from 2020.
Hell yeah, brother.
Host. So, oh my God. I guess I've got to synopsize it. It is a film that is... It is displayed to the viewer as though they are watching in on a Zoom meeting between a group of friends during the COVID lockdown of 2020. And it was made during this time, obviously. And they participated in a seance just for, like, something to do, I guess. But it all goes a bit wrong. Because of course it does. Otherwise it wouldn't be a horror movie, would it really? And it's important to when I go into these films, I always remind myself these people do not know that they're in a horror movie. So the way they act is not, is how a normal person would act, not knowing they're in a horror movie. Like, if you heard, like, a knocking sound in your house, you wouldn't just run outside, phoning the police and trying to call a priest, would you? You'd just think, oh, probably just something. And if you can't identify what the noise is, you'd probably just try and ignore it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It's not one of those things where it's like, when people get really angry going, get out of the house. Oh my God, you're so fucking stupid. Why are you going in there? Why are you investigating? Like, you would investigate because that's what I fucking do. I'm not constantly terrified of a man in my attic. If I hear a bump upstairs, I think it's going to be a magpie that's got stuck in there again or something.
Yeah, because
but they were doing a seance, though. That's the...
Yeah, but also in real life, there aren't demons, ghosts, and horrible monsters, right? So
maybe.
When there's a weird sound in your house, it's likely just a murderer.
Oh, that's even better.
So it's nothing to worry about.
You haven't even said the name of the film yet.
I did.
I
did. Said Host.
All right, I get it now.
And I think the name it's got a double meaning, much like the Isaac Asimov short story Hostess or The Hostess. So host, I think it's because Haley is hosting a meeting on Zoom, and host is like the host of a possession. Although that doesn't entirely work,
possessed.
Given with what really happens in the film.
Also, you could sort of add a G and it's ghost.
Ah! Oh, my favourite band. Excellent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how in-depth we want to get into this.
Well, I mean, it's as shallow as a fucking puddle, Simon. You can't go into depth in it.
I made so many notes about it.
What? I made 1, 2, 3...
words.
4, 5, 6, 7 sentences.
7 sentences.
I had a page and a half, weirdly, for this, but I think I was trying to distract myself.
The first sentence I wrote was, she has one large ear.
Oh.
I noticed that too.
She's got massive ears. Like they're not sticky out, they are just large in scale. Maybe she's got a small head.
I think they are large as well. Like, I think they stick out like Dumbo. I didn't notice that. And like, if you had ears like that, you wouldn't tuck your hair behind them.
Maybe she'd be proud of them.
I've written over 2,000 words about this film.
2,000? Motherfucker.
Just how I roll.
What are you writing?
Well, in case you wanted to go in depth about what happens.
I mean, we can try and go in depth.
Sure.
I mean,
sure.
all right.
All right, let's start.
This episode's going to be longer than the film.
I
and that's funny.
Swear to God. Swear to God.
It's a 56-minute long film.
Uh-huh.
So this episode is going to be longer. We're like 10 minutes in now, G. We're 10 minutes in now.
Well, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this seance going.
Okay, so we meet Haley. It's all filmed via people's computers and their phones during this Zoom meeting.
Like it's a laptop.
Yeah.
So like you're viewing it as a recording.
Yeah, it's a found footage movie, a subgenre of horror, but this is more of a niche one where it's all people's personal devices and such. And I can name a bunch of these films that are similar. The Collingswood Story is probably the earliest one, which is a similar kind of premise to this, really, but it's a bit different. Of course, there's Unfriended and its sequel, Unfriended: The Dark Web. The Den, which, I don't know, a little bit disappointed by that one. There's a film called Ratter. There's one called Spree. There's Open Windows, which has Elijah Wood and Sasha Grey in.
What?
There's Alone with Her, which has Tom Hanks's son Colin in it. There's Followed, Deadware, and Dashcam, which is by the same director. And there's also Profile, Searching, and Missing, which are more kind of thrillers that horror, than horror movies. And these are all filmed through like computers and phones.
Your 2,000 word notes are just you listing other films.
Look, just in case people are interested in this sub-genre of horror, of found footage on people's phones and laptops and desktops, there was a list of films for them to enjoy.
Thanks.
Yeah. So first of all, Hayley, she has like a little bit of tape covering the camera on her computer, which I think is quite clever and what we all should have, really. Right?
We're streamers, and I personally have a DSLR as a webcam, so it's just off most of the time. So I don't need that.
Okay.
And also, my gaming laptop doesn't have a webcam.
Pog?
I'm sorted. No ghosts
Wow.
getting through there.
I'm literally, there's a camera lens looking at me right now on my laptop. I'm just waving. Did you ever see, like, when they did, like, a tour of Facebook and every fucking PC had a bit of tape over the fucking webcam thing?
Yeah, if that doesn't tell you what's what.
Yeah.
And nowadays, we've all got, like, Ring cameras just throughout the house. Those can be hacked so easily, can't they?
Can they? Oh,
Well,
God.
they were at some point, like, there was, like, a data breach, and there was a website, and you could just, like, click on a button and see into someone's house.
Were you on this website looking
no,
around?
I just heard about it.
Okay.
I don't care about other... Honestly, I couldn't give a shit about what other people do.
So you really enjoyed this film. So yeah, there's a strange knocking, and she opens a door in a closet, and something like falls out. It's just like a fake. It's just fake out, but it's enough to put you on edge, and especially seeing how she has the camera positioned that you can see the mirror and her sort of messing about a bit in the background, and during the course of the movie. With the camera setup that people have, there's often like a dark fucking doorway behind them.
Yeah.
And that always has me on edge.
Yeah, I felt that when she was like, she put the laptop down, the mirror was on the right. I was like looking in the mirror thinking, what's gonna pop up? And the same with the doorway as well. I was like, ugh.
And because it's often so dark, you're struggling to see if there's anything.
Well, because the fucking quality as well. It's like very pixelated, especially in the dark spots. So,
and I was watching this at 2 p.m. on a very bright and sunny day.
Perfect.
And it was
Perfect
it was
time to watch
ideal.
a horror
Couldn't
movie.
see shit. I wrote down. I'm already annoyed. Who walks around with their laptop facing outwards?
yeah,
True.
Because she's the host of the call, and she was just walking around with like say you were presenting it to someone else.
Yeah.
Just, there you go. See, look around my house.
Oh, I guess the way she could have been holding it is like, you know how you like if you're holding the laptop, but it's sort of like at an angle, but it's facing you, so the camera would be, I guess, sort of facing you in the direction that you're looking, so you're like standing to the side. That's the only way I can sort of rationalize it, but even then, it's like, eh.
I mean, this happens a lot in found footage movies because, you know, a lot of the times you want to see people's faces, so they have to hold the camera at a weird angle just so that us, the viewer, gets to see things.
A laptop is very, you know.
Yeah.
It's an unwieldy thing to be carting around as well.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Like when I'm moving my laptop from one place to another, I have to use two hands, and I hold it, and the screen is facing towards me. I don't face it the other way around because that's how I hold it like a tray.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think most normal people would do that.
right, so she's not normal.
She's not normal. I mean, yeah. So we have people joining the call. First of all is her friend Gemma, who lives in the same apartment building.
I don't think she does.
No, it's
Or like
she lives close by.
She lives close.
Yeah.
She lives close. Sure. Okay. She was like throwing shit at her window to get her attention, which I hate that. Gemma is a bit of an annoying character, and she's a bit of a prankster. I like to think that everyone has their own character in this film. Like, there's decent characterization done in a short amount of time. And I didn't like her, but I don't think I was supposed to like her. She joins the call, and she's on two devices at the same time, her phone and her laptop. So there's a weird echoey fucking effect. Haley is pretty on edge about this. It's annoying the shit out of her. And it annoyed me as well.
They dragged it out really, really long as well.
Yeah, I mean, anything longer than 1 second for that kind of echoey feedback loop.
Yeah, but that's what people do, though. And they're annoying.
That's what...
Yeah, so I kind of get it, in a way.
I think people mostly behaved reasonably, logically, and normally to a point in this film.
Yeah.
You have Emma, the blonde girl, who drinks and cries a lot. Radina, who I reckon has COVID because she's coughing. And she has a boyfriend that hates her talking to her friends, chopping up vegetables in the background.
Yep.
He just walks off in a huff. And we have Caroline, and Caroline has a weird, like, capital I shape on her face, across her nose and stuff, and over her forehead.
Oh,
to, like, cleanse her pores.
The nose thing. The nose. Yeah. Okay.
It's these 3 lines that looks like a capital I or an H on its side.
You've never done a blackhead nose strip, Simon.
Yeah, but it looked nothing like that.
He's probably talking about like the white strip.
Yeah.
But you can do like face masks and stuff, so it's basically just she didn't
and
cover
put it
her
off,
face.
and it's just filled with just gunk that's come out of. Ugh.
Gunk.
Oh, and Caroline has a daddy as well. She's got an older gentleman that I think she might live with.
What?
Her father.
I was gonna say, I was like, what are you saying? That's her dad. What did I
Yeah,
miss?
that's daddy. What do you mean? What's wrong with? Is it not cool?
Well, you said an older gentleman, which alluded to something else. Okay.
Her dad is the most genuine character in this entire film.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
like,
him.
"Wait," he's lifted up his top.
I love it, but he's like the best actor in it as well because he's just like that's how dads are. Like, you can...
Have you been staying in during the lockdown? He's like, oh hell no, I've been going out for walks.
Well, so I assumed that it was going to be an American film, because obviously Haley is, I think she was the only American.
She's
then
American.
Then the rest of them started talking. I was like, oh, British. This is...
Oi, oi!
Oi, oi, we're hey, you know.
Cup of tea, Tuesday. You know.
Tuesday.
So early on, it's hinted that they're going to do a thing. There's an event that they are participating in, and it's something a bit different, and Haley has done this before. But at this point, we don't know that there's going to be a seance.
Do you remember our event that we did, Simon?
The murder mystery thing.
Yeah.
That I solved.
You solved it.
It was very, very simple.
We were made to dress up as well.
And my camera was absolute dog shit. It couldn't have been worse, my webcam.
G wasn't invited.
Nope.
No, sorry.
I was not invited.
Sorry, G.
Feels bad.
It was fun, though. It was fun. And it's nice to feel clever by solving a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah, they're messing around with, like, filters and backgrounds. So, Emma has, like, a scary filter face thing that comes on her, and she goes, whoa! And Caroline has got a background recording of her walking in the room. So she sat there at the laptop, and you see another Caroline walk in her jammies. And that's a thing that, you know, we've all seen people do.
Mm.
At least we've seen, like, videos of it if we've not been on actual calls with this kind of thing. But it's nice. These nice little touches of them sort of mucking about. And then we meet Teddy, and Teddy is in fucking Argentina for some reason. Is he on his honeymoon with Ginny?
I think he went out to visit her and see her parents for the first time, and then lockdown hit, so he's stuck with them. And he's like feeling really awkward about it because everyone else thinks she's a bit of a bitch, I think. They don't really like her.
I don't think any of them get to talk to Teddy anymore because his time is completely taken up with Ginny, and she needs him doting on her constantly. And they make comments about the social media, you know, on the Instagram. It's always just them two together.
So this film was just extremely, and I hate using this word because it's like, it was triggering because it just was like, we obviously lived through the lockdown and, you know, COVID bullshit with the fucking, like, just having to stay in and, you know.
But we had Animal Crossing.
We did. There was just a lot of COVIDisms in this movie that just were like, just peak anxiety for me, because it was like, God, I remember having to stay in and, you know, do all this bullshit and all the peak Zoom stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is so upsetting.
We lived through this.
Yeah. And I just remembered the fucking how many, it feels like a couple years have been stolen from us, essentially.
At least a couple of years. Because it fucked me up so badly. And people went back to normal. And I was like, okay, well, I can't, so I'm just not gonna.
Well, it was like some people were able to just snap back to it, right? Because they were like, I'm done with this, you know, we have to start living.
Good for them.
We have to start living, you know, can't continue, blah, blah, blah.
Can't live in fear, can we? You're scared of a virus. I'm like, yeah, I am actually. This is a mass disabling event, you fuckers. Simon literally has the worst lungs in Bristol.
That is not true. Actually, my lung capacity is like huge.
He's got big lungs. This is bragging.
Fucking hell.
Like I had a lung function test just to check on things, especially as being like an ex-smoker. And so I went to the hospital and I had to blow into a thing and everything. And it was this weird, big, scary machine. And the nurse looked surprised. She was like, it's excellent. This is excellent. Your lung capacity is excellent.
Was she really turned on?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I might have been misreading. She just looked a little bit befuddled by how good it was. Because I expect most people that have these tests do have something like wrong with their lungs.
Yeah.
And being asthmatic doesn't mean that you have lower lung capacity. It could be like other things causing it.
I've been schooled.
So they were just checking that, and it turns out it was really, really good. So that's why I did that really long YOMP that one time because of my lungs, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, sure. Teddy's got a lovely beard and he's got a man bun that he calls a twat knot.
I loved that. It's like my favorite line of the film. Twat knot.
He also uses the word cunted for being drunk.
Love that.
He's a fun character.
And I'm like, yeah, at least this guy's going to keep it all together, innit?
La 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 la.
So they're all got like an item in order to communicate with someone who's dead during this seance, but we don't know that yet. He has his grandmother's music box, and he had to go back to pick it up.
I thought it was his brother's. I was like,
his brother used it to scare him with. But it belonged to his grandmother.
I see.
He had some ambience by vaping around it to make it all smoky.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Vaping as well. Such a 2020 film, isn't it?
We're going to look back on this and go, wow. It was
in 20 years.
Time.
Look back. I'm already fucking wincing. Like, the whole film was just such a...
Okay. Spoilers. G hates it. I'm honestly shocked. I thought you would love this film, G, because you love horror movies.
What? You're being sarcastic. You're being sarcastic.
Yeah. Sorry. Should I use a more sarcastic tone of voice? Oh, I thought you would love this movie.
Right. Keep the high tone so I can't hear you. That's perfect.
Oh, is that not coming over fucking Discord? Brilliant.
No, please keep the high tone.
They should do a fucking horror movie about Discord. Get it done.
The bit rate.
I guess as a radio play, it would. There's probably already been done a bunch of times. So yeah, Haley asks everyone to be respectful. There's a lady that's going to be joining them, and it's a seance. They actually reveal it finally. Happy spookies is the term used. Caroline is already shitting herself before it's even started. Gemma is finding it all hilarious, not taking it seriously whatsoever. She's the prankster girl. And then we have Ceylan joining the meeting.
I hated her name like so much.
She is a very specific type of woman that exists in this world. Someone who's into crystals, has astrology charts.
And Ocado.
She only eats organic food. Has 7 different types of hummus in her fridge. That kind of woman. And she literally does look like a psychic, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
You look at her and you think, yeah, that figures. So everyone has this object, and was it Emma or Gemma that wanted to talk to a dead pet? It was Emma, wasn't it, that brought this up?
Because they were like, oh, what are the rules if if my Chinese grandparents
that was Gemma that said that.
Yeah. She was like, if they start talking, like, will I be able to understand them? And then the other one chimed in about the pet.
And apparently there's no language in the spirit world. And if they want to talk, they will talk. And they will talk through people being possessed, Ceylan reveals later. Which is something that she really should have said at this point, early on at the start.
I really hated that part.
It seems like an important detail.
Yeah, I hated that
really
part where she's like,
important.
She's like, yeah. Don't be scared by the word possessed. Don't be scared. I'm like, come on, bitch, really? Don't be scared of the word possessed. Come on.
Everyone lights a candle, and they're all sitting in the dark apart from Teddy. It's still very much daytime in Argentina, although it is dark half an hour later. So who knows?
Yeah,
and that's weird because it was light outside in England, and now it's gotten dark. So that doesn't entirely make sense.
Must have been late afternoon, or
yeah, but how come it got dark in Argentina then at the same time, pretty much?
Ghosts.
Well, no, later. Time had passed, but I don't know.
Yeah, not like fucking 4 hours or whatever time zone they're on.
It's like 20 minutes.
True, because the Zoom meeting or whatever the fuck the software is like, it has like a timer on it. And
yes.
Yeah.
It was an hour timer. It's now 40 minutes. But I think it was extended during lockdown to 60 minutes Zoom meeting. Otherwise, you have to upgrade and spend money.
Right.
So that does put a time limit on the length of the film, and that's why the film is about an hour long. So in case they get too nervous, Ceylan says astral plane, and Teddy, Emma, and Radina all do a shot because they have a drinking game. But I think this is the only time they ever actually do that.
True, yeah.
And they're told that if they're too nervous, because Emma and Caroline are very nervous still, Ceylan says that they can just imagine that there's a cord tied around their waist that goes out through their front door to the spirit world, presumably, and the astral plane. And they can just imagine that they're holding a knife and they cut the cord, and then that's it. It's over.
It's that easy. It's just that easy.
I'm pretty sure that's complete horseshit that she made up to try and make people feel better. In this universe, right? Oh, she plays the isochronic tone, so you get ooh, which you probably didn't hear on Discord. That's fine.
No, we heard that. We heard you mooing.
Okay. Moo. Okay, now, Sophie and G, I want you to close your eyes and visualize a circle.
Yeah.
And then it's interrupted.
I'm thinking about Brenda.
Think about Brenda's face. Think about those eyes.
Oh, she's so round. She's such a fucking circle, aren't you?
This is what Ceylan says for them to start visualizing. And Ginny interrupts Teddy, blows out the candle, and Teddy leaves the call. So Teddy has already fucked it up. Well, Ginny's already fucked it up. And she couldn't bear to be without him for like 2 fucking minutes when he's talking to his friends. And maybe this is the reason things kind of go a bit bad. But also maybe it's because of what Gemma ends up doing.
I think it's because of what Gemma ends up doing.
Yeah. This is when Ceylan finally explains that there's the whole thing that if you want to talk to a dead person, that person has to possess you, and the spirit communicates through you. Again, this is a real big fucking deal that she should have mentioned before they started visualizing circles, and she's played the tone and all that nonsense. And then they notice there's a moving light behind Radina in her like kitchen area behind her. And then there's a sound of something falling over. Caroline looks incredibly unhappy and on edge during this. And I love just how nervous she is and just how fucking miserable she is. Because I think maybe I would be quite similar. I don't know.
The blonde one with the pigtails.
That's Emma. She's the one that cries. Caroline and Emma are both unhappy, but Caroline is like the unhappiest right now. And that sound of someone falling or something falling over, it turns out it was someone knocking on the door. Ceylan says that it's probably a delivery that she was expecting. A bit of a fake out. So she goes off to answer the door. She comes back after a minute, after everyone has a bit of a joke and tries to relax a bit. But Haley feels that something touched her. Then Gemma jumps up. She thinks that something's been touching her neck, and she can still feel like a pressure around her neck. And she calls out to the spirit on Ceylan's prompting, and she thinks that it's Jack, someone she went to school with and helped her when she cracked her head open, but he later committed suicide by hanging himself. And then Ceylan drops out of the call.
She's so sick of this bullshit.
Yeah. Gemma was joking about this. She's like, guys, no, I didn't have a friend called Jack. This was just a joke. Like, what a weird thing to joke about.
Yeah.
People go off to go and pee or get water because Ceylan's just gone. Emma kind of calls out Haley for taking it a bit too sort of like seriously. I think it's Emma that does this.
Mm.
And she just wants to have fun and drink at this point. And then Haley is like, her chair is grabbed and she's pulled backwards with her sitting on it. And this is like the first, I guess, genuine supernatural thing that we have in the film, right? That we see happen.
Mm. Well, her getting pulled back on her chair.
Yeah.
Mm.
What did you think about that? How were you spooked by it?
No, not that part.
If that actually happened to someone that you were talking with, that would be like one of the most frightening moments of your life.
Not if you're talking to Lady, because she's always fucking falling over.
Oh my god, that's true.
It'd just be like, oh, she's fucking fallen over again. She'd be like, I don't know what happened. Like the time that she's fell
got to
over.
wear like skater outfit, with like the pads and stuff and the helmet.
She fell over because her shoelaces tied themselves together.
Huh?
How does that happen?
Well, she was wearing Doc Martens, and they've got the little eyelets, like the little hooks.
Sophie, I believe the events of the movie Host more than I believe that a lady accidentally tied her shoes together.
I think we were walking and she just fell over and her shoes were tied together.
How?
Because they got tangled somehow. She walked stupid. Anyway,
oh my goodness.
Lady's constantly fucking doing stuff like this, and I said, oh, a ghost tied your shoes together, because we keep joking that she's haunted by a clown throughout her life.
Oh my god!
Because one time she was laying in bed and there was a bit of plasticine that fell from somewhere and hit a heater, and we were like, oh, it was a ghost.
Clowns famous for their use of
I'll
plasticine.
ask Mum about all of the things that we attribute to her being haunted by a clown, but it's a running joke.
That would be good. And then next time we have a movie that has ghosts in, you can just like read out this long, long list of all these weird fucking things that's happened to your mother.
It's very strange.
Oh
She's
my
very
God.
strange.
She is. So yeah, Haley's just pulled backwards in her chair, and she calls out to the spirit. There's a weird rattling sound. Everyone mutes themselves, and Haley boosts up her audio. And she's carrying her laptop, phone, whatever the fuck it is. I guess it's her laptop. And she goes to investigate down like a dark fucking corridor. There's rattling, tapping, creaking. It almost sounds like a raspy moan in places. Like, and like... Then they hear a loud noise, and it's definitely coming from Caroline's house. So Caroline picks up her phone, or whatever. Are you alright, G?
I don't know why that sound you made just got me. I'm sorry, carry on.
Don't get too aroused. We're recording a podcast. What? I don't even... What noise did I... It was like... What the fuck?
No, just carry on. It's fine. I'm having a moment.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, Caroline picks up her device and she starts walking downstairs, but it's coming from the attic above her. She opens up the hatch, lowers down the ladder, and she's about to go up it when she just like nopes the fuck out. And she goes and grabs a selfie stick thing. And she attaches presumably her phone to the selfie stick and pokes it up through the hatch to look around in the attic, slowly rotating the camera around. And we see there's a pair of pale bare legs just dangling as though it's from the body of a hanged person. And we just see it for like that brief moment. And people are like, whoa, what was that? Did you see something?
Whoa!
That was kind of dumb.
Yeah, they're like, go back. Wait, go back. Go back.
Like, did they not see it was a pair of fucking legs? Like, come on. Clear as day. Haley says she's going to call up the psychic. And so she goes to walk into the hallway, but then she stops. She can see something in the darkness. She has a Polaroid camera, takes a picture, just waits a moment for it to develop. And we see that there's like, it kind of looks like a body dangling, but it's hard to make out. It's pretty hard to make out.
Gets out the old Polaroid.
Yeah. Chekhov's Polaroid camera. And Emma's wine glass suddenly shatters. And she is freaked the fuck out by this.
I'm freaked the fuck out by her having a wine glass so close to a laptop and then it breaks.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's asking for trouble. I think it was empty though, because she's been knocking back her wine.
True.
Haley gets the psychic on the phone, and she does a pretty fucking terrible job at explaining what's been happening. But Ceylan kind of responds with, "It's good that you had an experience." Like, no.
Jesus.
Gemma has the opportunity to explain that Jack was made up, but Haley kind of has to explain it. And Ceylan is not fucking happy with this. They've disrespected the spirits. She says, "This isn't good." Yeah,
it's
no way.
almost like you guys should have, explained how to do it properly, and the do's and don'ts, maybe, of conducting something like this, right?
And the fact that she just dropped out of the call because of her bad internet. Why are you even doing online seances if you've got a bad internet connection?
She said she'd never done it before, like this.
Right.
So...
I guess that's fair enough.
It's the fact that she got a delivery in the middle of it. I mean, she did say she was like,
it's
I was
very
supposed
unprofessional.
Yeah, she was like, I was supposed to arrive before the session, and then the fucking internet dropped out, and I'm just like, oh my god, woman.
I hope that Haley didn't pay too much for this experience.
I don't think she did.
Probably won't be able to get a refund, though.
No.
Yeah. So because they've disrespected the spirits, and they Gemma created this fictional person, they've now created a false spirit. This fake persona is like a mask that an entity can wear, and she admits that it could be something demonic. So thanks, Gemma, for this.
Yeah.
Ceylan does the classic thing where she says, okay, 1 knock for yes, 2 knocks for no. Everyone repeat. And they say it, and then Haley's light flashes once when they all say, do you have a message for us? That's yes.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes sense that we've had a lot of knocking during the film, right? So it's good to have a different way of, the flashing light I liked.
Yeah.
Because it was so bright for just a brief moment, and then it's just complete darkness again.
My fucking gripe was that Salem woman is she I know she probably hadn't done the seance and stuff before online, but the delivery thing, the internet falling out, the not explaining the do's and don'ts, how she's don't want to freak you out, but then proceeds to freak everyone out. And then
don't want to freak you out, but it might be a demon.
Yeah. It's it's just just a bit of a possession, just a cheeky tiny bit of possession.
Cheeky possession.
What the fuck, woman?
And now she makes them talk to the demon, right? Shouldn't she be okay, if it is a demon, we need to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
Instead of that, she's okay, now we're going to talk to it.
Yeah, it's
are you a friend? And then the light flashes twice for no.
It's what are the rules, Because obviously with movies like this, it's oh no, if you do this, then you can open up, the rule of making up a spirit.
I think maybe Ceylan doesn't really know what the fuck she's doing.
Probably, because it's how can you really? But I mean, she's obviously done seances before, so it must have been fine up until this fucking point.
It's like hypnosis, where you convince people and they kind of buy into it and they play along.
Right.
And they're oh yes, I don't want to be a dead relative. Maybe I'll be an old. I'm Simon's great grandfather, Arthur, or whatever. Hello. Oh yes. I'm in heaven. It's bright up here, and they're just doing that during the seance. Someone's just playing along.
I just hate that sort of the fucking Ouija
and
board
Ceylan's
shit.
Oh my god, he's talking to this actual relative, because she buys into this whole.
Yeah.
Delusion, I guess.
It's cold reading in when you go to these fucking. Do you remember there was Mark Edwards who was a medium, and there was
it's John Edwards.
John Edwards, and I fucking that guy. There was
he the one Pyrian worked with?
Is he? Did he?
I think he did.
That's fucking hilarious.
And I asked Pyrian a question. And Pyrian responded, yes, he was. Very much so. Try and guess, listeners, what question I asked Pyrian about John Edwards.
Was he a dick?
Write it in the comments below. Engagement.
Yeah.
And basically, they have somebody go around and sit in the audience and chat to people oh, who are you hoping to talk to today? Ooh,
yeah.
Oh, well, my dad passed away last year. Oh no, how'd that happen? Well, he got his arm caught in a threshing machine, and it was a terrible accident.
And what was his name?
His name was Bellend. Oh, well, I hope you get to speak to Bellend
right.
today.
And then 20 minutes later, there's a name. It begins with B.
I'm getting the vision of a massive penis. Oh, what is it? Something's ringing. There's a ringing noise. And it's they'll wear wires to communicate, radio wires to communicate this to backstage and be that it's a big fucking scam.
It's almost as though it's not real.
And then they just make things as vague as possible. It's tarot reading. It's anything with it. They'll just make it really, really vague.
G-Star Games actually does tarot readings.
Yeah,
so
she's a charlatan.
It's just a fun little thing. It's not.
It is a fun.
That's what the people in this movie thought, G-Star Games. And they were messing with forces that they didn't
Hold
understand.
The front fucking door, okay? First of all, mine are cloud
I'm holding the front
cards.
door and I'm imagining a rope from the front door and it's tied around my waist and I'm getting a knife and I'm cutting it.
I can't. It's first of all, they're cloud cards from a freaking anime, okay? Second of all,
Cardcaptor Sakura.
exactly. Thank you very much. And second of all, they're just light, fun readings. There's nothing fucking spiritual, calling the dead, being possessed, demonic. There's none of that. It's just nice and light.
You're messing with forces. You got no idea what they are. I'm going to redeem a tarot tonight when we're streaming together.
Oh.
Oh my god. So yeah, are you a friend? And then the light flashes twice for no. That's where we were at.
No.
Oh, and then Haley's phone goes dead. So Ceylan's gone again. And then they go through the imagining that there's the rope and cutting it, which does fucking nothing. Pointless fucking activity, imagining that. Gemma's very nervous looking around her room. But everyone kind of like laughs because it seems like things have calmed down now and things are over because they did the thing. Radina goes to the toilet with her laptop just there on the floor.
She's having a nervous shit.
Having a nervous shit. And her phone rings in the bathroom. Her boyfriend, Alan, left his phone there.
That dickhead that they didn't really get on, and they were like, "Oh, she shouldn't have moved in so soon over lockdown with this bloke. She just messed." And he was the one chopping in the
passively
kitchen.
aggressively chopping vegetables
Loudly, yeah.
He's nowhere to be seen, but he's left his phone here. Emma's completely finished a bottle of wine, and now she's fucking around with like a lizard face filter thing. Caroline walks out, and we see the pre-recorded background of her walking back in. But people realise that it's the pre-recorded thing, like, immediately.
But they don't know where she is.
Yeah, like, where's Caroline? Where's Caroline? And then we see a bloodied face smash against her camera. Just for, like, a brief moment.
Yeah.
Now, that was a good one. That was a good one, right?
Yeah, I kind of thought that was, like... Because she had was the loop on at that point?
Yeah, the background of her walking in her pajamas, the pre-recorded thing.
That was good. I kind of liked that because, I just caught a glimpse. But then it got, like, really... It was, like, showing us, right?
Yeah. Emma is walking around in her like, living room / kitchen of her apartment, presumably. And she still has the filter on, and it picks up a face. And it puts this, like, kabuki mask over it?
Yes. Yeah. I knew that thing was going to be a plot point of some sort. The
filter,
the filter was definitely going to be a thing. But the light, the flame, the light on the other woman's camera didn't really...
The flame?
Which they were like, oh, do you see that? There's like a light. There's a little light on your... Does anyone else see that? There's a little light on her camera. But that never really...
No, I don't think that was anything. I think that was the psychic being like, oh, there's the light.
Right.
But now we've actually got, like, real shit happening.
Yeah, because I thought that was... But I guess they were just trying to throw you off. Like, oh, there's this thing. There's that thing. There's this thing.
And it makes you really look into, like, that dark background to try and see if there's something there.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get, like, what that show does, The Haunting of Hill House, where, in the background throughout, you'll spot certain ghosts, or things happening in the background, but no.
So, yeah, there's this floating mask in her, like, living room area, and she moves towards it, reaches out, and the face turns towards her and then disappears. So Emma, very cleverly, she grabs an open bag of flour because everyone was baking bread during lockdown. So, of course, she just had open bag of flour. And she tosses the flour around on the ground. to try and like see like where this invisible person is.
Mm.
And then like all of her kitchen drawers open. Footprints appear in the flour walking towards her. And she runs off to the front door but stops, turns around, sees flowery footprints on the carpet going towards her, and gets lifted into the air and thrown to the ground. She runs off and hides under a blanket with the face filter of the lizard face over her as she cries.
I did like, that was the only bit that I laughed. I laughed.
So much happened in such a short time. She's just been through like so many weird things happening and got assaulted by this spirit. And it's a fucking crying lizard face. Oh my god.
Crying
good.
lizard face. Oh.
There's this weird moment when Radina's on the phone and you see her oven light turning on. I think her boyfriend put something in the oven and now it's like burning. And her friends are all yelling at her like, oh god, we're all being attacked by ghosts. Oh god. And then we see her boyfriend Alan fall from the fucking ceiling.
All I could hear when that happened was Alan, 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 Alan.
That was so good. He was up on her fucking ceiling the entire time. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, because I was wondering, like, where's the dad? Where's her boyfriend? You know, like, where have these extra characters gone? The ones I do have.
I think we know what happens to the dad, right?
I hope he lived.
I think he's fine. He's living on a farm upstate, living out the last of his days there, running in the fields, catching rabbits, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, Radina tries to make a run for it, but she's dragged back by this invisible force. And we see like a speck of blood appear on the camera lens. So she's probably out of it. We see the pre-recorded footage of Caroline walking in her jammies again. And then we get like her face appearing, slamming against the camera over and over and over and over. And then she begs for her friends to help her. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That might be the most disturbing thing in the film, that brief moment.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the most jarring, for sure.
It's so messed up. And it was around this point, we're like 43 minutes into a 56-minute long movie. And I'm like, okay, so is this all just a joke? Or like, is there going to be a twist? Like, are they trying to get a prank back on Gemma? Blaming her for doing all this thing, you know? So they're all setting her up to have a nervous breakdown or something?
Right. I didn't think that. I was like, yeah, this just shit's hitting the fan.
Because nothing's happened to Gemma. Absolutely nothing has happened, right? She thought she felt something around her neck, but...
True, actually, yeah. She's the one who, like, caused all this, and, like, that's what I found funny. She's the one who's done this, but yet everyone else is copying it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But I guess that's the point. It's like, look at what you've done.
Yeah. But yeah, that theory was not a good one. Haley tries to phone up Ceylan the psychic again, and again she's dragged backwards in her chair. She lifts the chair up and rights it so it's upright, and then it's dragged off screen, and then she's dragged out through the door and into the hallway, and the door slams shut behind her.
Thought that was impressive.
Jesus.
Just the door shutting behind her.
Yeah. Gemma lives in the same area as Haley, so she puts her face mask on. Very good, COVID. It's important to do that when you go out. And she goes to check on Haley. Emma is just bawling. Absolutely fucking bawling. Radina, turns out, is alive. Maybe. Well, she's on the call. She's not alive. There's this weird thing where, like, people drop out the call and then come back on the call. So Radina dropped out of the call, but then she joined again. And I don't know whether that's the spirit or a technical thing on Zoom. I don't quite understand what's happening with that. Radina's dead, right? She's fucking toast at this point.
So I don't think I've ever used Zoom.
No, I haven't either.
And so I think when somebody, because when there's like somebody talking, I think they get like the full screen mode, I guess. Yeah, I think that's a feature. But yeah, the stuff about the leaving and joining, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that did confuse me.
Yeah. I get you.
So Radina dropped out of the call. Now she comes back mysteriously. Gemma's drops out of the call because she goes outside and loses the connection. Teddy rejoins. And it's just an empty room with just a chair sitting there. And then the creepy puppet walks into frame. It's Teddy. He's just larking about. He's laughing and he's like, oh. He's completely oblivious to everything that's been happening in the meeting because he's not been there.
Yeah, because there's only one girl. There's only one girl there, and she's like sobbing uncontrollably under the blanket. And
Emma, the lizard face crying Emma under her blankie. Emma's trying to explain. She's telling him to get out. He thinks they're just messing around, and then the power goes out in his house.
So, sorry, going back to the scene where I think Caroline was taking her camera up into the attic. What annoyed me was everyone on the call they were like, "It's okay, Caroline. It's okay. Take us up, Caroline. It's okay. Go on, Caroline. It's okay." And I'm like, "You fucking bitches. First of all, it's not okay. And second of all, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you're encouraging her to go up in the attic. Like, fuck off. No, I'm not going up in the attic, you psychos."
Oh my God.
That really fucking, like, wound me up because they're like, "It's okay. It's okay." I'm like, it's not really. No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, good point. We get the warning appearing on screen that the Zoom meeting is going to automatically end in 10 minutes.
Oh.
Because
when Teddy came back and he was like you fat bitch.
Where are you fat bitches? Yeah. Come on, stop messing about.
I was like, damn, dude, what the fuck is going on?
He's just one of the girls. It's funny. You can make fun of people.
I didn't care. Yeah,
wait, you could do it.
I didn't care. I just thought that these guys are so English. They're so English.
So yeah, we've got a timer, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I
the
thought
Zoom
that was,
meeting will end.
Oh, I thought that was clever. That was really clever. But I could see there was like loads of time left on my. Well, not loads, but there was like still a bit of time left, even when it said that there was 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's literally 10 minutes of the movie left.
No, but I could see more after that. But I don't know if I got like some sort of version where, because it said, as the movie ended, it said, this is how they prepped for the movie, and they actually did a seance.
Right.
Like in real life. Did
you watch this on Shudder?
No.
Right.
Winky face.
We watched it on Shudder, so
yeah. So, but there was a thing afterwards that was like, this is what they did to prepare for.
On what? On the DVD or Blu-ray?
Yeah, on a VHS tape.
That's funny. Imagining this being on VHS.
It'd be pretty cool.
And
actually.
It's a movie that's like a Zoom meeting.
True. Like, look at this timeline where there's a fucking pandemic and everyone's using their computers to talk to each other. Whoa, this is so fucking dystopian.
There's a ghost in G's throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trying to kill me.
Ooh, a horse.
Ooh. Got a horse throat.
A horse throat. You heard it here first.
Oh my God. So we get a lovely jump scare as Teddy goes upstairs to sort the power out, the fuse box. There's a fucking Bagul moment. A scary face appears. The face is like, it's on its side, and it's got like completely white eyes and a horrible scarred face. And it's a good old, just a solid jump scare, I would say.
Yeah.
Teddy goes running as furniture's flying around. We also get another little jump scare of like a bluey grey skinned demon with like its hands covering its face or its arms covering its face, and it's screaming.
I don't think I caught that. Weird.
Oh my god.
Was it like a glimpse or was it like proper on?
It was just all of these scares are just like half a second.
Right.
So, yeah. This is your coat hanger moment.
I think so.
To reference Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I think so. Because, like, well, to be fair, admittedly, I was like on edge because the woman's
You were
apartment.
edging, yeah.
I was edging. The woman's apartment reminded me of mine. I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
You're
under a blanket. You're crying.
No, it was nighttime.
Throwing flour around.
It was nighttime, and I was like a little on edge.
Oh my god! Imagine Eddie's been sick on the carpet, and then you see a footprint appearing in this vomit.
Stop! Why would you say that? That is gonna. That's freaking me out. Thank God we're in the middle of the day, because I scare easily.
Well, we are now. A few hours, the sun will be down. G.
We're gonna do curse craft, so you will
Okay.
keep me company.
I'm gonna make you do tarot readings all night. Try and get you to contact the spirits. Teddy runs outside and he sees Ginny. She is like yeeted away from him, like thrown high up into the air, and her neck is broken. And then she drops down into the swimming pool below.
I put LaMayo.
fuck.
Ginny got fucking destroyed.
She did.
What I want to know is he was barely in the call, and yet he got fucked over hard.
Yeah, but she blew the candle out, and I think that might have contributed to things going wrong.
Oh, good point. Good point.
I mean, the rules are not clear.
No,
hard
but
and fast.
that does make sense. So
Yeah.
they weren't taking it seriously, and she blew the candle, and yeah.
And also, he joined the call, and the demon might have been like, "Oh,
You let me back in.
Someone's
Who's
here."
this motherfucker?
Yeah. So I guess he's like opened the door again to let the demon back in.
Mm. Do you think there's a haunted server somewhere in fucking Microsoft HQ?
Probably.
I like to think that the server blade that you've got, the WoW one,
Venture company.
yeah, that's haunted with
Well, it
years
could
and
be.
years of people's lives lost
Oh.
to that
In the
video game.
Goldshire Inn, the Lion's Pride, or whatever it's called.
Ooh.
All that ERP that we did. I mean, that they did.
Yeah.
Yep. Teddy goes into a barn type building. There's a noose dangling from a beam. Another reference to the hanging, fictional hanging.
Mm.
And then we hear the music box playing. Teddy uses his lighter to see where he's going in the dark. He finds the music box and he just gets dragged backwards, is knocked out. The fucking lighter catches him on fire. He wakes up screaming in pain, and the call kind of drops with just a still image of fire.
I wrote down, I
Damn.
like that he has gone on fire.
Fuck. Emma's still hiding under her blankie, and she hears a thud. She comes out from under her blankie, but still grips onto it tightly. It's like a comfort blanket, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Gives her courage, her blankie. The door opens to her bedroom. She takes the blanket, throws it, and there's an invisible figure standing there with the blanket around its head and torso area. And that is an amazing effect. I love that so
yeah,
much.
that was pretty cool. I appreciated that one.
Mm.
It looks so good. Flawless effect. She freaks out, opens the window, yeets herself out of it, and turns out she lives quite high up. The camera, her phone falls down with her, and we see her body landing on a picnic table, completely ruining it.
Picnic.
She is fucking dead, pretty sure.
Kablooied.
Poor Emma. Poor Emma. Back at Haley's place, Gemma throws something at the window, smashing it, and jumps inside like a fucking action hero. Because we saw at the start, Haley's place is like on the second floor or something, right?
Yeah.
It's not a ground floor apartment.
I want to know why she did that, though. Like, why does she go there?
She's going to save her friend.
Right.
Yeah.
And they do they meet up and she does the fucking awkward elbow bump that people were making people do in the pandemic. Don't touch anyone's hands.
Oh, I did notice that.
We are missing the scene when a wine bottle just launches itself from the countertop at her fucking head.
Laughed my ass off at that. That was so fucking good.
It's so visceral. It's just physical. Oh my god. It just smashes into a million pieces when it connects with her. You know, like a clearly fake glass bottle would. But it still looks great on camera. She like pulls the camera to the floor, the laptop to the floor, and we just see her bleeding there, broken glass all around her on the floor. But yeah. Oh, she also like says fuck you to the ghost. She's very brave at this point. You know, she's broken into this house to save her friend. She's saying fuck you to the ghost after getting smacked in the head. She's almost like Bruce Willis. And then we get the awkward elbow bump when Haley crawls out from like under a desk or something.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah.
Again, this is another COVID thing, which people will remember. There was no hugging, kissing, touching other people's faces, no shaking of hands. There was
picking
only
your friends' noses.
No, that wasn't allowed. No licking people's eyeballs. You couldn't do any of that. No eating ass. It was all just bumping elbows together. So that was a nice moment. Haley says, we need to leave. And then she gets the Polaroid camera and starts taking pictures, using the flash to see where they're going, which is a classic in fucking found footage movies. I must have seen this half a dozen times. So the flash goes off. I'm wondering, like, is there, like, horrible spooky ghosts on, like, every fucking picture that she's taking? That, like, the police will find?
Yeah, I think so.
What will they make of it? Like, yes, a naked crazy man must have come in the house, you know, smashed through the window and attacked them. Probably something like that.
The timer's counting down in the top corner as well. You get
we got a minute left.
It adds a bit to the peril, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The petrol.
That's right. I like to think that these Polaroids, if they survive, right? If Haley actually survives at the end, somehow, will she have like a notice board and she puts these Polaroids up and, you know, written, it says like, you know, memories, lockdown 2020, and then hearts.
Oh my god, I've just noticed. All of the fucking actors' names are their actual names.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you watch the short? The short I sent you.
No, because I did not want to be fucking freaked out anymore.
We'll get to that.
It's 2 minutes long.
Yeah,
okay.
but we'll get to it.
We'll get there. So yeah, the final flash of the Polaroid, we get an all too brief shot of this horrible corpse-like figure, again with the white eyes, but with like greeny skin. Its nose and lips have been ripped off, and it's got horrible sharp teeth. And then we get the message: this free meeting has ended. Thank you for choosing Zoom. Upgrade now. And we get the main credits. They're shown diegetically as though they're participants of the call. So
that was my favorite part of the film, the credits. Because
I like that.
Yeah, that I really like. I was like, well, why are they showing me the list of people again? And then I was like, oh.
It's inventive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very clever.
And that's when we see that the cast have the same name as their character. Crazy.
Crazy.
So Saylin's name was actually Saylin.
Yeah, so I dissed her name and I said I hate her name. And I'm like, that's so...
And she's actually psychic as well. So...
Yes. So she knows that you dissed her. And she's coming for you.
She's coming for you tonight. In your apartment. Hope you got a blankie, G.
I have many blankies.
Blankie.
So yeah, that was Host. Final thoughts, Simon. This was your pick. I thought it was a really good horror film. No fucking around. Uses its time well. There's a nice build up. Good characterization in a very short amount of time. I feel like I know the kind of people each person is. And they all feel a bit different, and their responses to things are different. And even though, it starts off with nice scares, cleverish scares, it does just use jump scares at the end. I still really enjoyed the jump scares, and I thought they were pretty well done. I mean, it's not a smart film. It's not something that will be remembered in 40 years' time, I imagine, except maybe because it's a COVID thing. I really enjoyed it. I think it's well worth watching. I gave it 8 out of 10 because I just enjoyed it. I was looking forward to watching this for ages, and I'm glad I finally did. G-Star Games, come on then.
Oh, wow, 8. That's...
Yeah.
Wow.
I like horror. This was it just scratched that itch.
Okay.
And I'm itchy, G. Oh boy, I'm itchy.
Let's see the doctor. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like a huge fan of modern. I've said this before. I don't like this sort of stuff very much. I just like old school horror thriller. I feel like it's done better, and I don't like modernized horror because I don't find it effective, I guess, like with the phones and the laptops and like a smart house is trying to kill you type of thing. I don't know. It needs to be done really well and really clever. There were some like clever things about the film, some good moments, but it's like that other one. What's the other one that we watched? The one with the hand.
Don't smile.
Oh, don't. Yeah, that one.
Don't let go of the hand.
Yeah.
Don't let go of the hand.
Whatever that one is. I just find them like, and they're supposed to make you feel uneasy and scared and on edge and stuff like that. But I guess that's probably why I don't like it, which is counterintuitive, I know, but I don't want to feel like that. And I think, and it's not, that's why I'm like, I don't like the film. I don't know. It's peak COVID, which already put me on edge because I lived through it and I hate the COVID stuff. And it's
you don't want to be reminded of it.
Don't want to be reminded of it, yeah. Because like even when I'm like watching a show or a movie and I see people wearing masks and stuff, and I'm just like, ugh, I'm just reminded of COVID. Overall, it's this is gonna sound really harsh, and it is harsh, but it's like a 2 for me.
So, of 99 critics on Rotten Tomatoes, this has got a 99% score.
Right.
Critically acclaimed horror movie. Well loved by everyone.
Right.
Apparently.
I think that there's
I'm surprised by that myself.
I think that there's some like okay elements to it.
2.
Yeah. I think that there's like some okay elements, but it's not enough for me to go, it's a 5 or a 6.
You gave Galaxina 2. Galaxina.
Yeah, it's pretty much at the same level. Yeah.
Oh my god. Polar Express you gave 2 as well.
Yeah, I don't like this movie.
You're saying this movie is as good as Polar Express?
I don't like this movie. I don't like it. There's something about it.
What score did I give? What score did I give Polar Express?
Polar Express, you gave it 3.
Wow. A 3? That's generous.
Well, I gave this movie a 1.
Whoa,
oh my god!
Whoa.
I cannot believe it.
This movie could have been an email.
Jesus.
It was honestly like I was annoyed at it, and I thought it was stupid.
What was annoying you? Come on.
Everything. It was. I found it boring. I found it cliche. I found it just. I mean, I don't get scared by these movies, and I don't get jump scared. unless the volume is turned up way too fucking high on my phone, and then me and the cats just jump out of our fucking skin.
Which is what happened when you watched the shorts afterwards.
Which is what happened when I watched the short, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
It was the boy from Wreck.
I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it in any way appealing for anything. I thought it was really. I mean, the fact that I only wrote, what was it, 7 sentences?
Too modern. It's too modern for you.
No, it's not even that it's too modern.
If this film had been made in the 70s, you would have given it 9 out of 10.
Well, I'd have been like, wow,
and if prostitutes died.
There wasn't enough prostitute death, okay?
There was just...
It wasn't good.
But, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm glad it was only 56 minutes.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Sophie would enjoy this.
Any longer, and I would have kicked off.
I think the modern aspect to it just does nothing for me. Like anything that involves like texting or video calling or like I guess like the paranormal activity type thing and the found footage, like that's where I kind of draw the line. Where it's like on a camera recorder or something like that, you know? That's where I'm like, yeah, so I can, yeah. But like this stuff, I can't. It feels like it just never really lands. And there's just a lot of around this that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
If you want to watch a film, I think this is on Shudder as well. If you want to
Deadstream?
It's Deadstream, yeah.
Yeah. See, I like Deadstream.
Deadstream is, there's a live streamer and basically it turns into an Evil Dead movie. And it's a fucking romp. It is a very funny, smart little film.
It knows what it's doing. And
it's very self-aware, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. And he's taking the piss out of streamers. Like and subscribe. While he's fucking bleeding from the nose because he's being fucked up by things.
A lot of fun. It's a very fun film.
Yeah, I get that, and it's more fun. I just didn't enjoy this film, and I was thinking afterwards, man, we should set up a punishment if at least two people hate a film. But then I thought, actually, that would be not good for me.
No.
Instant regret on the thought
99% on Rotten Tomatoes, this film.
I want to know what was so 99% about the film, because I don't get it.
I didn't get
There's
it
like
either.
a couple clever things, but like it's not enough for me to go, it's an 8 out of 10. Like there was a couple funny lines and a couple good deliveries on some reveals, but it's just not enough to carry it to that high of a score.
Okay, well, I mean, I found it an enjoyable little spooky thing.
That's fine. You are totally entitled to feel like it's an 8 out of 10.
Yep.
I mean, there's not too much to really talk about with the film. We kind of went through it relatively quickly, and I went into fairly, and
I was bored.
Quite amount of detail, yeah.
And I was bored listening to it. I'm sorry, but even like thinking about it again, I was just like, oh yeah, this happened. I remember it, and it was just like I didn't have any emotion during the film.
Oh my God.
It's definitely a different way of like telling us a horror story like this, because it's like, you've got your usual tropes of like how something like this would play out, but because this was entirely through a camera, it was just, I don't know. There's something about it.
I'm
fine
with found footage. Like, I'm fine with it. It's just this one didn't really work. I didn't like the.
So this film was done 18 years earlier with the Collingswood story, where there's two people in a long distance relationship and they do a seance,
right?
And it goes bad.
So it's not even an original idea.
So this film, it essentially has been done before. 18 years earlier. So this isn't really that new a thing. But obviously with the references to COVID and it being, during lockdown, set and filmed during lockdown, made it quite timely.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that these people wouldn't have been doing anything else during that time, and they were like, let's make a fun little movie. I've got this idea, like, because he had the idea and he sort of did the premise with his friends, and he just took it was like a prank was this short, and basically he got them on a Zoom call, and it was some of the same actors, and they were just like dicking around, and he was like, I keep hearing things in my attic, and then he set it up so it was like something scared. It was a massive jump scare, which the volume was way too loud, and he fell off the ladder and he just wasn't moving anymore. And
it's really good. It's a really, like, for like a 2-minute short, and it's these real people on a Zoom call, and he's pranking them in real life.
It's not a good
They
short.
don't know that it's a prank, and he gets them good with like this little zombie boy from Wreck appearing in the attic. And
it's not a good short. A prank is not a short.
A few people are like, oh my God, oh Jesus. And then there's the one guy saying, that's really clever. How did you do that?
Yeah.
That's how it ends, with that guy saying, this is bullshit, but I like it.
Like, Simon, you saying it's a good short is basically saying that prank YouTubers have good shorts going on sometimes.
Sometimes they do have very good shorts on the clothing item.
I mean, it's a good little laugh. It's a good prank to pull. It's like
not
a good
going
idea.
up to people in the street and slapping them in the face and then giving them $100.
I hate that stuff. Like, fucking
it's a
annoys
clever,
me.
It's not a social experiment.
Fun, I appreciate that why they did it and how they did it and stuff, but I don't think it's worth me watching.
We've kind of gone through most of the trivia things that I'd found during the discussion.
Yeah, there's only like a few bits, but this one I found hilarious because even I noticed this during the film. But so she says around the sneeze, because I could tell they were like laughing and trying not to laugh, and I was like, that was definitely unscripted. So I kind of like that. That was cool.
Say what it is.
Although scripted, the cast was allowed to improvise. For instance, the moment when Haley sneezes and the cast reacts to it, it was not planned. Because you could tell they were trying not to bloody laugh. And I was like, that was not supposed to happen. Another piece of trivia. So it was filmed during COVID-19 lockdown, which we obviously knew. Every scene...
Thanks for pointing that out.
Every scene was shot on iPhones taped to the laptops, which is interesting. So it wasn't even the laptop camera, it was iPhone.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. The thing about the Zoom membership of being, this was only going to be an hour. The body count was 8. Yeah, that checks out.
Sure. Does that include the monkey?
The what?
The monkey.
Oh, the woman on
that fucking spy monkey.
Oh my God, the monkey!
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's this other one that says parts of the
Oh.
script were redacted so the cast didn't know what would happen throughout. Like, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's fair enough. Like an improvised kind of thing. Partially improvised.
So I liked some of the Letterboxd reviews. This is what every Zoom call feels like when you have anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Crying under the blanket with the filter on.
these bitches out there getting attacked by a demon, and at the same time they're taking the pandemic more seriously than most people I know.
Damn, that's too real.
I did notice that, actually. Like the fucking, the saying hello with the elbow and the mask, and it's like, you're literally about to get murdered.
Yeah.
What's,
Yeah.
going on here?
I mean, I think I'd just be dick sat for Harambe. I wouldn't give a shit about COVID if, like, a demon was coming after me. I would just be naked in the street, yelling and crying. Yeah.
I think one tried to leave their house and they got dragged back in, right? Which is
That
weird.
happened like a couple of times. I mean, Teddy did make it outside, and that did him no good.
Well,
So
true.
yeah, just being outside your house, that's not enough. You can't run from this demon.
Well, except for Gemma, who was able to leave and then go to her friend's house. So
yeah, I guess. Why was it never after her? Did she just do everything right somehow, even though it was all her fault? Or is the demon saving her for last because it was all her fault? Or I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
I
not
think
sure
it
this
was...
film really deserves this much, analysis into it.
Well,
I don't think it's going to hold up.
And like I said to you, I think it was like forcing her to watch what she caused,
Right.
her friends.
To punish her.
Yeah.
Killing all of her friends.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Sure. How did this do at the box office, do you know, G?
I do know this, and I was fucking gooped, gagged, fucking shocked as fuck. So it had a budget of 100,000, which, first of all, what the fuck? And second of all, it earned 443,807.
You gotta pay people, G. You gotta pay people for a film.
100,000 when they're all filming in their home.
They did have special effects.
I guess the CGI.
Should they not give the actors and crew any money for this?
No.
Come on, G. That's not very woke.
Don't start. Right, so what, 100,000, and how many of them were there? Like 8, 9?
8 people die, so...
Yeah, I know that much. Yeah, I guess.
There were 46 people working on the film.
Think how good that CG was of the invisible person under the blanket. That was worth the budget alone.
I've seen those sorts of effects on fucking TikTok. So...
Wow.
I'm dead ass serious. Like, the things that people can achieve on that stupid fucking app. But anyway, fine, 100,000, fair enough. And it earned 443,000, which is insane.
Well, it was released, that's its theatrical box office. It was released across the world, and most of that money is from Russia and South Korea.
What?
Yeah. It was just released in cinemas over there during COVID, and people were still allowed to go out to the cinema.
Right.
And this is what they watched. So it made money, and obviously it was on Shudder as well. So, yeah. Fair enough. It didn't make like $27 billion like Paranormal Activity did or whatever.
Well,
off of its micro budget.
Well, because this probably wasn't in cinema, right?
There wasn't fucking COVID when Paranormal Activity came out.
Yeah, so
had that going for it.
There you bloody go.
Sophie, I'm asking you specifically, do you think this would make a good video game?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
She was teetering on the and then
I was, but then I was thinking there are a load of like indie games where they're based on like a really simple idea.
Yeah. True.
Like maybe you are a participant of a seance over a Zoom call and you have to figure out what's going on, save your friends maybe, or maybe you are the person who conducts seances and has to, you're malevolent.
What's that weird fucking emergency hotline game?
Home Safety Hotline.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got an evil spirit here. When I use a face filter, there's a kabuki mask in my living room. I tried throwing flour at it, but nothing happened. And then you have to like give them the right response and how to deal with the supernatural thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you need to sprinkle holy water around, do 7 Hail Marys, and burn the shape of a cross into your chest.
Jeez. Is that it?
Otherwise your kids die.
So I think that it could actually be a decent game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're participating in it and you've got little twists and turns and stuff, and because I saw what was happening, I saw it was coming all the way through, but it doesn't mean that it wouldn't make a fun game to play.
Yeah.
Especially if you could see people's webcams, and
maybe like a multiplayer type thing.
I was thinking like the FMV videos that you get in the old games. So you get this tiny little window, and occasionally like 30 seconds of it will play, and you have to respond to what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's really low quality and you can barely fucking make out what's happening, and that adds to it. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Right then. Shit, we're gonna have to roll for a film. I have replaced host on my list with Elvira's Haunted Hills, 2001 movie. That is on there. The other Elvira movie. So poor G stocking. G, come on, G, come on.
Yeah, get to look at Elvira's titties. Woo!
Exactly. How can you be upset?
I'm not.
So my list is The Guest, Action Jackson, Horror Express, love that film, Murder Ahoy, Krull, and Elvira's Haunted Hills, which are her boobs.
Oh, I get it. I get the joke. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize I was talking about her tits.
Perfect. G's list is Perfect Blue, Crocodile Bloody Dundee, mate, Sea of Love, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Shutter Island, and Coraline. And Sophie's list is Labyrinth, The Hidden, Roughers, Wild at Heart, Total Recall, and Cemetery Man. Okay, first roll is to see what number on each of our lists is. It's 6. Wait, we just had 6 last time, and I rolled 6 as a practice.
I'm telling you that these are weighted dice.
That's just how random numbers work. Come on.
Oh, I swear to God, with this fucking Simon, come on.
This is just how it works. Don't worry about it. So it's Elvira's Haunted Hills, or Coraline, or Cemetery Man. You can't be upset with that, right?
No, I kind of like all those options, so...
That's solid.
Yeah.
Okay, so a 1 or 2 will be Elvira, a 3 or 4 will be Coraline, a 5 or 6 will be Cemetery. What we got? It's 3, it's G-Star Games. We are watching Coraline.
You guys haven't seen it, I don't think?
No, I don't think I have.
Don't think I have. That's strange, isn't it? Like,
pretty fucking good.
I've read it.
You've read it? That's interesting.
It's Neil Gaiman.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking good. I think you'll both enjoy it.
Okay.
Other Mother.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay, well that'll be a nice light-hearted watch. Well,
it's not
really. It's actually
not.
Kind of horrifying. Maybe even more horrifying than the host. Oh, sorry, host, not the host.
In certain aspects, it bloody is. Yeah. Wait, so do you know anything about it, Biff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know vaguely about it, but I don't remember too much about it. So it'd be interesting to go back.
Is it stop motion?
Yes.
So it's like Wallace and Gromit.
Yes.
Cheese, Gromit. We've got to hide the body, Coraline. No cheese in prison, lad. Okay, well, congratulations, G, on winning. We'll be watching and discussing Coraline.
Nah.
Are there any final words that you'd like to say before I take you out back and shoot you?
Thank God. I've got to take Keith to the vet, so I've got to wrap up.
That's for G. Is that what I did before? What was the groan you laughed at?
No, you did it was like some sort of moan. You were like,
Okay. Great. Another successful episode in the bag. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hello and welcome to the thank you segment of this podcast episode here at YOMP, where we say thank you very much to our Patreon supporters of all tiers, but specifically those at the Giga Yompa tier, our executive producers. Thank you very much to Bottle Gnomes, Enki13, Lawrence Thibodeau, Luck33, Scott5877, Sleepy Dish, and I'm a Robot. Thank you very much, and we will catch you guys next episode. Good day.